A toddler died this afternoon when the car that he was in was rear-ended by a pickup truck on Interstate 71 North near the Gene Snyder Freeway. 2 adults in the car were taken to the hospital. The truck driver was not injured. 71 was closed for a while that scene was investigated and cleared, but it is now back open. The crash happened just before 3:30. Meanwhile, a woman and a child were killed in a crash in Meade County this afternoon. Kentucky State Police say it happened in Brandenburg on Kentucky 79 near Kentucky 313. Investigators say a car driven by 38-year-old Kristen Souder of Brandenburg crossed the center line and hit a Mack truck. She died at the scene. The 4-year-old boy in her car died after being rushed to Cozaire Children's Hospital. The truck driver was not seriously hurt. Police arrest 2 juveniles who now face charges for a school playground fire. Investigators say the kids set fire to the equipment at Blue Lick Elementary on Wednesday night, causing extensive damage. The suspects are charged with criminal mischief and wanton endangerment, but because they're underage, their names are not being released. Now to politics and Commitment 2022 coverage for you. Tonight, a look at the judges' race featuring some familiar names. Annette Karam and Mackenzie Cantrell are vying for an open seat on Kentucky's Court of Appeals. WLKY's Mark Vanderhoff introduces us to the candidates.
Let's say you're convicted of a crime or don't like a ruling in your lawsuit. The Court of Appeals is where you go for another opinion. This election is for Division II of the 4th Appellate Circuit, based right here in Louisville.
So I have the most experience, and I think it's important to know that this election, the whole appellate bench is retiring from Jefferson County.
Annette Karam has been a judge in Jefferson District Court for 16 years and is currently chief judge there.
Experience is the _1 important thing, I think, this year in the election.
She previously worked in private practice and as a prosecutor.
Both as in civil court and representing the county attorney's office in domestic violence, crimes against children, and sexual assault cases.
Karam will be facing Mackenzie Cantrell.
We don't want anybody on there who's going to rubber stamp, what other judges have done because they used to serve with those judges. So I bring a little bit of an outsider perspective.
Cantrell specializes in employment law.
I've seen what people go through in the court system who are non-white, who don't speak English as their first language, and how they're treated and the obstacles that they face.
She's also an outgoing member of the Kentucky House of Representatives and teaches at U of L's Brandeis School of Law.
And I'm the person with the right experience because I've practiced law, made the law, and taught the law.
Now, the winner of this race will be succeeding Denise Clayton, who was the first black woman to serve on Kentucky's Court of Appeals. Mark Vanderhoff, WLKY News.
Also tonight, we hear from the candidates for Jefferson Circuit Court Division 10. They tell us how they would help the court system work more efficiently.
My personal role in that will look like imposing reasonable time limitations for trials and hearings, ruling swiftly and utilizing e-technology to distribute orders quickly, drawing on my extensive trial experience to meaningfully manage trial calendars.
So in that regard, another idea would be judges going down, asking other judges in circuit court, hey, how can I help your docket? Can I take a case off? Can I try a case for you? How can we move this docket along? Because that's what the people of Jefferson County deserve, is an effective and an efficient court.
Remember, you can watch more of these interviews with the candidates on WLKY.com and on our free mobile app. Just click on the In Their Own Words tab. With excused absentee voting underway in Kentucky, new numbers show registration is surging in the Commonwealth. Secretary of State Michael Adams announced today more than 22,000 more Kentuckians have registered to vote since September. About 6,100 voters were also removed from the rolls. Most of them have passed away. Republicans now account for 45.4% of the electorate. Democrats make up 44.8%. $330 million. That's how much money UPS is investing into new facilities in Kentucky. The more than $155 million facility planned for Louisville will be around 1 million square feet and create 315 jobs. The facility in Bullitt County will be the same size with $178 million plus investments. It will bring in 120 jobs. The exact locations have not been determined. Leaders in Bullitt County say that they're excited about the potential of the investment.
Is this. It keeps our what I'm going to say our best and brightest here in our community, instead of them having to go to other communities to find opportunities for that type of wage and the skills that are required for it.
Jerry Summers says there should be progress on the project within the next year. JCPS honors retired U of L law professor who has positively influenced many young lives. Laura Rothstein was presented with the Alberta O. Jones Award. Rothstein helped start the Central High School Law and Government Magnet Program. The award is named after Alberta Odessa Jones, a trailblazer who became Louisville's first woman prosecutor before she was murdered at the age of 34.
She was who she was because people who came before her. And my path is, a lot of people opened doors for me and gave me confidence and so on. But it's my responsibility to honor that and to inspire other people.
Since its inception, more than 500 students have gone through the program at Central, and about 125 of them went on to graduate from U of L Brandeis School of Law. Rothstein now lives in California and says that she's currently working to create a documentary about the program. The husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is violently assaulted in his home. Just ahead on the news at 10, we'll have the latest on his condition, plus what we're learning about the suspect now in custody. A major development today in the unsolved murders of two girls in Indiana. After more than 5 years, a potential suspect is now in custody. Police arrested 50-year-old Richard Allen this morning. Sources tell us our sister station in Indianapolis, WTTV, that it is in connection with the Delphi murder investigation. Libby German and Abby Williams were found dead in February of 2017, a day after they disappeared. State police are not releasing Allen's connection to the case. A news conference that is expected to release more details is planned for Monday. The husband of Nancy Pelosi was brutally attacked earlier this morning at the couple's home in San Francisco. Police say the suspect was apparently looking for the House Speaker. And as Natalie Brand reports, with just days until the midterm elections, law enforcement officials are warning of more potential violence.
In an attack that sent shockwaves from San Francisco to Washington, D.C., police were called to the home of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, where they found her 82-year-old husband in the midst of a struggle with an intruder.
Our officers observed Mr. Pelosi and the suspect both holding a hammer. The suspect pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently assaulted him with it.
42-year-old David DePappy is in custody, facing charges including attempted murder. Investigators say the suspect had planned to tie up Paul Pelosi and wait for the speaker to return home. But the speaker was in Washington at the time and arrived at the hospital Friday afternoon. Speaker Pelosi's office said he underwent successful surgery to repair a skull fracture and serious injuries to his right arm and hands. Law enforcement sources say after smashing through the back door, DePappy shouted, "Where's Nancy?" an echo of what rioters were saying during the January 6th attack.
Where are you, Nancy? We're looking for you.
A review of social media posts suspected to be those by DePappy show him spreading a number of conspiracy theories.
Stolen elections. COVID being a hoax.
President Biden spoke out against extremism amid a rise in threats against members of Congress.
Every person of good conscience needs to clearly and unambiguously stand up against the violence in our politics, regardless what your politics are.
CBS News has learned Capitol Police are now considering additional protection for families of congressional leadership. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Since Speaker Pelosi was in Washington, there was no police presence at the House at the time of the attack. She travels with the Capitol Police detail, and they would have been on duty when the attacker approached. New information tonight on a breaking story that we first brought you last night at 10. Investigators now say a house fire in Oklahoma was likely part of a murder-suicide. Authorities found the bodies of 8 people inside the burning home in a Tulsa suburb on Thursday evening. 6 of those victims were children between the ages of 1 and 13. Guns were recovered from the scene, but so far no word on how the victims were killed. The fire chief says it does not appear that anyone died because of the fire. Tom Brady's NFL career has outlasted his marriage. The 7-time Super Bowl champion and his supermodel wife, Gisele Bündchen, confirmed their divorce on their Instagram pages and asked for privacy. Reports of issues in the marriage first surfaced earlier this year after Brady decided to return to football weeks after retiring. The couple was married for 13 years and have 2 children together. And rock and roll pioneer Jerry Lee Lewis has died. A spokesperson says that he was the often outrageous singer-songwriter known as The Killer, passed away this morning at his home near Memphis. Lewis's hits included Great Balls of Fire and Whole Lotta Shakin' Going On. Jerry Lee Lewis was 87 years old.
Now your WLKY weather with meteorologist Daniel Johnson.
Another nice day out there, lots of sunshine, highs in the 60s to low 70s. Tomorrow, it gets even warmer by probably a couple degrees. We'll talk about that coming up, but here's a really nice view outside, a live look at downtown Louisville. You can see Lynn Family Stadium there in the distance, and that is going to be a hopping place tomorrow night. A big playoff game, their first playoff game, and it's against Pittsburgh. You got to win to keep moving on through the playoffs, and we're excited for that game tomorrow at 7:30. The forecast for that game coming right up. 56 the current temperature out there, so we've dropped from around 70 to 56 in a matter of just a few hours out there. 71 was that official high today after a chilly low of 43 degrees, but no rainfall out there today, but we're going to be adding some rain to the rainfall gauge on Sunday. But tomorrow, just looking fabulous. I'll show you that forecast in a few seconds. 40s across southern Indiana, already down to 44 in Scottsburg, 48 in Madison, Carrollton 49. South of Louisville, that's where we have the milder temperatures, still holding on to the mid-50s. Doppler radar and satellite combined, clear across our area. But notice the clouds south of us. They're getting a little bit closer. It's all due to this spin near Dallas, an area of low pressure providing a lot of rain down there. That's going to lift northeast and bring us that rain for the second half of the weekend. But tonight, we're clear. A little bit on the chilly side, mid-40s here in town, but low 40s outside the city for those overnight low temperatures. Heading into tomorrow, a beautiful day. Get out and enjoy it. That's the pick of the weekend if you want to head out to any football games or soccer games here in town, or go pumpkin picking, some last-minute pumpkin picking for Halloween. Really, really nice. Halloween parties maybe you're throwing. Low to mid-70s during the afternoon, and then temperatures tomorrow night just in time for the kickoff at Lynn Family Stadium. Big soccer game, 63 at kickoff. By the end of the game, it's cooling down into the upper 50s. So if you have any of those Lou City scarves, you might want to bring those with you to keep you a little bit warm, especially toward the end of the game. Futurecast is showing clear skies tonight, and then notice the clouds beginning to approach south of the metro Saturday around midday. Most of us, though, looking at a lot of sunshine through the day Saturday. Here come the cloud cover late in the day. That's when we'll start to see mostly cloudy skies on Saturday, probably after dinner time. So again, mostly sunny through a good portion of your Saturday. Then we're cloudy on Sunday, and this is the slight little change we've made. Initially, the rain was going to start very early in the morning. Now the forecast models have delayed the rain a little bit, so we might get away with an early morning commute if you're out early on a Sunday, a mostly dry one. A few sprinkles possible early in the morning. Showers then begin to pick up through Sunday midday. The heaviest, steadiest rain likely occurring Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, and those showers linger into Sunday night. So here's that Halloween forecast in detail, or at least your Halloween weekend forecast. Beautiful tomorrow, cloudy on Sunday, maybe stay inside Sunday, especially in the afternoon, low 60s with a chance for showers. But what about the trick-or-treaters? Well, right now we're calling for dry time, just in time for the trick-or-treaters heading out there. But I'm not going to lie, there's an isolated chance for a sprinkle or shower even lingering into trick-or-treating time. Right now we're being optimistic, drying out just in time. Next week, kicking off November, wow, looking nice, upper 60s, eventually mid to upper 70s, Rick, heading into Friday. Wow.
Wow, okay.
Looking forward to that.
Let's hope the little ghosts and goblins stay
dry. Right.
All right.
Sure.
Thanks, Daniel.